Hello everybody and welcome to another Transformers third party review. Today we are taking a look at the OptiClones from Keith's Fantasy Club. Now I recently got their shattered glass transistor through and I was very impressed. They'd upped the plastic quality. It definitely felt heavier and more sturdy than the previous offerings. So I was very excited when I found out from Madhouse that this would be coming through. And here it is. First impressions, it feels fantastic. It's got so much heft to it. It's unreal. It feels like the Fans Toys Reflector. It is that good. It's got that plastic consistency that we've been crazing Keith's Fantasy Club for from the day one, and they have delivered. Camera mode itself looks sublime. I really like that. And these are the added accessories we get with it. We do get a very small version of the camera, again with a nice high gloss finish on the lens there, making it look reflective. It's very nice, and it holds in the Decepticon hands very well. We get three variations of the Energon cubes. We get a compressed Energon where they're all pushed down for easy transportation. We get a half-drunken Energon, so we can tip it up and drink the Energon as we go. And then, of course, we just get a full or an empty. Pessimist, optimist, whatever you like to be, we get one of those. We also get a nice little lever here, so we can manually feed through our camera film. Now that is a nice touch. Just taking a look at the back here, it's not quite as clean as the Fans Toys version, although I do like these sections here, like the visor section here, this section here with the button. You don't get visible head syndrome like you do with the Fans Toys. It's a very nice design, very large as well. It's a very good chunky camera size. Now, Keith was a cheeky little monkey and he decided to incorporate some electrics into this as well. You can install two types of battery, both of which are mentioned in the description here below, so you can order the correct ones from your local stores or Amazon. One gives you sound, one gives you light. The sound function, if you press this button here, we get a nice little camera sound. And there's also a light function. It's not overly visible during his camera mode, but once we get him transformed into his three bots, then we can see the light function in all of its glory. A quick scale comparison here for his theirs alt mode. I think I've covered enough bases here for you masterpiece collectors. It's a good size camera. Let's just take a closer look. Now this lens section on the front here is especially impressive. I like this. You can see the reflection of my lights there, can't you? You've got this lovely section behind here. If we just remove this, again, this looks pretty darn nice. It just literally pops over. This thing can unfold and form weapons. We'll get to that when we transform them. It just clips over. The panels do line up pretty darn well. This section here can just peg and unpeg. Come around to the side here. This is where they don't quite clip in as well as they should, but it may be how I've transformed them. I wonder if I haven't quite transformed them spot on. We get a load of feet along the top here. They are all die-cast goodness, hence the genuine heft to this. I don't have a set of scales to hand, but it's pretty much on par, if not a little bit heavier than Fans Toys, in my opinion. Just take a look. Paint applications seem pretty smooth. It is a little bit rough on the metal there. But again, this is a pre-production sample that may or may not be changed for the final versions, which comes out pretty soon. So I pretty much imagine this is what we're going to get. But I am pretty darn impressed. So let's get this beauty transformed. We just want to pull this section off here. Pull these little tripod legs off, and these three sections are going to separate. They are literally all tabbed in together. They are tabbed in bloody well though, so it's a matter of giving them a little tug. And you've got deux, and trois. See, look, the French-Canadian in me is coming out already. Righty-ho, first off, let's take a look at the weapons. We can join these together for a start, if you choose to. And then we can open up this section here and this section here. And we've got some lovely little rockets in there. Disclaimer, these do not fire. Yes, it's a fairly good height, kind of like Bumblebee-esque height. Or maybe one of your Team Reflector. Yes, so anyway, that's part of the weapons, if you choose to do it. If not, we can make guns out of said tripod legs. Start off by pulling the lens section apart, just sectioned into 3 sections here. The actual glass piece fits nicely on this little dude here. It just clips on to the front of him. You can get these, and if you look on the inside, there is a said tab. Come round to your rockets and just give these sections a tug, and you can pull these off. Bend this end section down. We'll only go one way. There's a stop at this other side, so it won't go that way. Push this in here like so. As you push that in, it's going to push this handle section down. Going to wrap this section around. There's an indent on the top of this one here, so that will sit nicely on the top there. Then this section comes down to the side like so. That just pushes together nicely. Then we can just bring this handle down. It's ideally easier if you have nails, but do this with all 3 and then we have 3 guns. Right, now to get these guys transformed up, first of all we need to identify their names. This is Optic 1. I believe this is Optic 2 and this one's Optic 3. To transform them, we're going to start with Optic 2, 3 because they transform exactly the same. Mr. Optic 1 over there, he is a little bit more difficult. Right, to come to this top section, this is going to lift up and these front sections here are going to come untabbed from the side, and the same from this side. Just get your fingers underneath there and just untab and pull this section away like so. And the same goes for the back section here. These feet are just tabbed in. Flip the side panels up on both sides and just give them a little extension. As you can see, we've now got a reveal of the hands. We can give those a little tug and that a little tug. And that now separates this all into this kind of mess. Right, split the legs up. Push these tab sections down and down. Come around to the back of the leg. You want to just unfold this foot section as well. Bring that down and just out of the way for now. We can sort that out in a second. These back sections here, this is on a double hinge. That's going to go up and then that's going to hinge around, so it's in the back there. Fold this tab section here inwards. Then we can bring this section around. This section is going to tuck in. This is going to clip down and tab in like so. Then this section here can just be pushed inwards like so, closing off the back of those legs. Come down to the feet. You want to just pop the section here through so it brings this section down. Bring this down. That's going to form the heel spur there. So that sits nicely at the back there. Nice flat wide foot. Come around to the leg sections here and basically you want to give that a little push. Just give a little push here. Come around to this section here and this needs to fold upwards like so. And now allows us to swivel this around like so, filling out the leg. Around to the back here. We want to just pull the shoulders round to this section to bring them up. Actually, we need access to this waist here. Basically, the waist section is going to rotate like so. So this section here is going to come round to the back. That goes around quite nicely. It's just me faffing it up. These sections here go down, and this one goes down. I'm going to bring this section down into the middle here, and you see these gaps here. This is on a double hinge, so these can double hinge their way nicely and snugly into the crevice on the back there. Again with this one, double hinge that in so it's in there nicely like so. Turn the head around. Really liking the face sculpts on these. Fold these underside sections in like so, and then these 2 sections here, they're going to tab into the top half of the backpack, securing that all into place. We can now bring the shoulders down. sort out these hands by flipping them out. Pretty standard to what we get with the masterpiece style figures these days. Bring that out, bring that down, and rotate that around and straighten up those elbows and fists. Now we get round to Optic 1. You want to pull up this section here, and that frees up this front section. We're going to pull it down. As you can see, it's tabbed in at the sides here. Give that a little tug, and again on this side, giving a little tug. He says, there we go, that pulls this section down. There is the real underside to this. So this is a fake screen. This is the real one. We can do the same with the legs as we did with before. Just pull off this side piece, pull off this side piece. Allows us to pull the legs back, untab the fists, which are tabbed in there nicely. Again, untab the fists and just extend those down. Then the legs transform exactly the same way. So you want to just bend this hinge down, bend this hinge back, bend it back on itself, bend this hinge on the double hinge, and locate it back. So now we can just peg that in like so. Now remember to flip these sections up. It's probably the most difficult bit because there's nothing really to grab hold of, and I have no nails, so it's kind of just locking that nicely into place so you can flip that round. Now it's when we get to this point that we can install the batteries. You've got 4 screws here. You just want to remove those. You're left with something that looks a bit like this. It was a bit of a job to get this section off here. I had to give it a really good tug. These are the batteries you really want. The LR521s. You want 3 of these. There's this gap here where we can fill it all in with the batteries. Right, now it's all been put back together. It's quite a pain in the backside to put together. Once you get these out, you pull this out and the bulb thing just kind of flops around where you put the batteries in. It's a bit of a nightmare to get back in because you have to make sure these shoulders are perfectly square, the head is in, and this back section here, once it's unscrewed, you actually have to lift it out of this waist section, and it'll only go into the waist section if this is perfectly square, so this bit has to be in line for it to slide in. So it is a bit of a mish, but I'm sure it's going to be worth it. Right, let's rotate this section around to the back. There we go, make sure the arms are forward. One thing about these, they've got bloody brilliant head sculpts. Very human-esque, aren't they? Very nice. Right, the backpack. Fold this section here in half. That's going to fold into this section here, much like the others. These side sections should, in theory, come inwards, like so. This section here folds in. This section here folds in. Make sure this end section is folded over. This is the tricky part. I'm trying to tell from the instructions. I've got like a very small PDF sent through. I believe this section here is on a slider. So you slide it all the way down. So it's now below this hinge here. You can then make sure that's folded in, make sure that's in. Make sure this is square up against there. You can fold this section at the bottom in, like so. Make sure that the waist clip there drops. Then this should just tab in. And I've got a fairly tidy backpack section there. Here they are all together. What a gorgeous looking team. Definitely some of Keith's best work to date. Now, I did make a little faux pas when transforming these, just to give you all advanced warning. There's a flap on the inside here. That's meant to come outwards. I pushed it in by mistake. I cannot for the life of me get that back out of there now. So once it goes in, it's kind of pushed in. As you can see, I've been chipping away at it, trying to get it out, but I cannot. So when you're transforming the feet, they're basically, as they come out, this section is folded right down, and they're basically through. This is basically what you have. You want to push the toe through, and there's a flap that comes out here. Make sure that is up and up to the top. Then you can pull the heel through and extend the toe, and then you've got this covering this section here. Unfortunately, I made the mistake with absolutely all of them, and I pushed it through. I mean, the feet work exactly the same, but unfortunately they're just not as tidy as they should be. Now, let's critique these. What could be improved? You may have seen during the video, I do keep pressing on this section here, and it does keep spinning. Now that we've moved this section here, this section feels very free to spin. Like I say, the feet, I didn't, I'm an idiot, you know, that's not Keith's fault. But all in all, I think the backpacks are quite good. The colour is fantastic, much better than some of the original shots we got, which was a very kind of bluish turquoise. This is much more true to the cartoon. In fact, I think the whole toy is very true to the cartoon. Now, this was a complete sod to do on the inside. Let's just open up the backpack. Let's switch this switch across, and then close this section back off again. There we go, that's what it did. That's a pretty nice, look at that. That was definitely worth me effing and blinding at the toy earlier on. This switch is quite stiff, and you have to really get your stubby nails in there. But yes, that's what that does, and I do like that. Now the face sculpts on these, as previously mentioned, are all very, very nice. I do like them. Genuinely, extremely impressed. The articulation on these figures is darn good as well. The arms can move out all the way around. I just love that joint there, it's great. Upper bicep rotation, we've got a double jointed elbow, yep. Rotation at the wrist, open and close on the hands. Got lovely tight metallic ratchets on the waist. Lovely tight metallic ratchets on the leg. Friction joint coming out. Ratchet. Turning. Nice. Die cast. Ratchet on the knee. And the feet, which I've discussed already, can come outwards, can go forwards and backwards. So we can get some really nice stances. The head can move up and down, left and right extremely freely. Now the wrists on mine are a little tiny bit loose as well. I could probably adjust that just by tightening that screw. If you just seen it. But these feel incredible. They really, really do. I'm dead chuffed. Let's just take some time to reflect on what we have here. That was a terrible pun, wasn't it? The KFCs are noticeably taller than the others in the group. They all look incredible, but I can't help but feel that the Make toys of all of them are actually the weakest of the bunch. Now, I never ever thought I would say that. I mean, what a fantastic place we're in now with toy collecting. If Make Toys, one of the top dogs, is the weakest of a trio of figures, that's insane. I mean, if you have the Make Toys, should you get rid of them to go out and buy KFC? No. If you've got the Fans toys, should you get rid of them and go out and buy KFCs? No. KFC's ones are fantastic. I am genuinely extremely impressed by them. and if you've ordered them, you are going to be over the moon. They are incredible toys. I wouldn't suggest you sell any of the others, but I would highly recommend you buying them. You should army build like myself, because these are all going to look fantastic. I mean, this is a huge troop of Decepticon foes, and I think they all look incredible together. It's nice to have variations, but as a team, I think they all look incredible. And here they are for a quick scale comparison with the Polygon, Soundwave and Shockwave. See, I think they are a bloody good scale. And just because Keith does like to throw in those little tiny added touches, Laserbeak fits on all of their arms. I like that. So there we have it, guys. This is the latest offering from KFC. Keith, in my opinion, has done a very good job. The designer has worked a miracle with these. I am very, very happy, and I can't actually recommend these enough. They look and feel incredible. Don't make the mistake that I did with the toes. And it's entirely up to you if you think the glowing chest section is necessary. I think I just struggled with it a bit. It's maybe because I've got big fat hands and I'm not very good at stuff like that, but I don't entirely think that the glow is an essential part of these toys. They look and feel great. He has definitely upped his plastic quality to a much higher standard, and I am very happy that he has done so. I said this with the Shattered Glass Transistor, it felt different. I hope this is definitely a sign of things to come, because I mean their Blitzwing looks fantastic. I really hope he's as good as these. Thanks again to Madhouse Toys for getting these out to me to have a look at, play around with and review. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up, share and subscribe. And until next time, from myself and the OptiClones, goodbye.